Welcome to Booming Your Bottom Line, a weekly podcast on how to find, serve, and keep local boomer consumers as your customers. If you are a small business owner, then this podcast is for you. Hosted by Mark Hager, CEO of Age in Place Networks, publisher of AgeInPlace.com, and expert consultant in the boomer consumer industry. And Aaron Murphy, architect, certified Aging in Place specialist, national speaker, and published author on Aging in Place. These two small business owners are going to help you learn what you need to know and step by step what you need to do to grow your company through serving the rapidly growing older consumer niche. Now, get ready to supercharge your business.
This is Booming Your Bottom Line. I'm Mark Hager, and with me is my co-host, Aaron Murphy. Say hey, Aaron.
Good morning.
Last week we had a jam-packed episode where we talked about why you need to care more about local search and your website and how to get them started working to bring you in new customers. Now, we're going to keep with this digital theme this week and talk about content creation, which is ever so important in terms of getting new customers and ranking well. So if you missed last week, go back to our archive shows at ageinplace.com/smallbusiness to get caught up, or you can subscribe on iTunes or Stitcher.
So last week we talked about your website and local search, and we talked a great deal about how you need to set up that content on your site so it's easily read by the visitor and easily indexed by Google or any search engine, but we call this Google. This week we're talking about what content is and what you need to know and how to create it. So if you need to create content for your website to do better in local searches, help your potential customers to know more about what you do, and have items that you can post in social media for your company, you're going to be in for a real treat.
Yep.
When you're done today, you'll be on the road to creating content that will accomplish all of these goals. I know Mark already said this, but if you didn't listen to last week's episode, go ahead and stop right now, pause this one, and in a separate search tab, open episode 9 on website and SEO. You'll be more excited about what we're talking about today for content for your company after you heard that episode. So now you're going to figure out just how easy that can be.
All right, so we're going to talk about things that have to do with content creation, actually putting this stuff together for your website. And since we talked about the why of content creation in the last episode, we're going to skip that. This episode is boiled down to what kind of content you can create and should create and how to get it done, and some of the tools that you can use to make it happen. Now, this is easier than you think. Now, those are 3 parts of this episode, and there's a 4th part, which is going to be a surprise.
Well, Mark always likes to tease me. I like surprises, so you're going to like this one too. Working together on this segment, we've compiled so many gold nuggets for you, I can't really even list them. It's all good stuff, so why don't we just dig in?
Okay. Obviously, I can't tell you every conceivable idea for content, in a 15-minute episode. Instead, I'm going to be giving you a few standards that you can quickly get started on your own with to get you going. Now, I do want to clarify one thing, and that none of these ideas or processes that we're talking about for creating this stuff, none of this replaces the foundational content of your website, okay, i.e. the web pages about your company and products and services. These are other types of content that you can use that's going to help you get ranked better in local search, okay? Get more action on social media, and by action I mean likes and shares and mentions and stuff like that, which lead to those all-important links back to your website. And have a better shot at engaging your website visitors with interesting and educational or entertaining content. So here are the 4 basic content types that you can create for that purpose. First, we have articles. Now, the articles are based on keywords, and we talked about this quite a bit in last episode, and then I mapped it all out for everybody to show them how your articles are related and support the other content on your website about your company and services and products. Okay? So these articles are based on keyword phrases that support the main categories of your website. All right, so for instance, if you're a home remodeler, you would have pages that were built and are optimized for your primary keywords or keyword phrases, such as home remodeling, bathroom remodeling, kitchen remodeling, etc. And like I said, we went into great detail about that last episode. Now, these new articles we're talking about might be optimized for something like kitchen counter replacement or universal design kitchens. Okay, these are ideas that support the work that you're doing, which are the main categories and keyword phrases that you use on your business website. Now, these articles or blog posts, you might call them, are a prime way to talk about the work that you're doing or that you have done. Okay, this is just one example for you. A description of a job that you're working on. Obviously, you wouldn't want to put in people's names and addresses, but you could set up a post that was optimized for a particular keyword, let's say universal design kitchen, and then you could talk about this design that you did in the main body, and you could have photos, before and after photos from the work that you did. Now, what you have when you're done is you have a really pretty post. It's engaging because you have photos on it, and you've written words that support those keywords that you've targeted. Okay. Now, you could also include in a post video interviews with people you are helping, client interviews or organizations that you work with. You could talk about community activities that you're involved with or that your company supports. Or even supporting articles about your main services like we talked about before. So last week we talked about how to format these, and I'm not going to get into that today, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the next type.
Okay. Next one's videos, and videos are hot. Okay, YouTube's
Absolutely.
like one of the most searched places for information that there's ever been. So before you cringe about videos, I do want to tell you, with today's smartphones, video's never been easier, never been more accessible than it is now. A free YouTube account and a smartphone can go miles for you in the video category.
Right.
Okay? You can use your phone to do client interviews. Might want to have a tripod, just FYI, or share a walkthrough of a project or your store or whatever it is you're wanting to share. 3 to 5 minute videos that explain something, maybe how a kitchen's remodeled or one of those before and after projects you did, okay, or what the process is to go through getting X service that you provide, how to hire somebody. There's so many things you can do with this.
Yep.
You don't have to be a reporter. You don't have to be overly professional, okay? Using video of you humanizes you and your company, and it makes it easy to gain trust and rapport with your prospective clients. People don't expect it to be perfect, okay? Just educational, entertaining, enlightening in some way, okay? Introduce yourself and talk about your subject in a video. Once you shoot these, you can either write an article to accompany that video and embed it in the post, or you can use notes and script from the video as part of your post or the whole post. Okay, there are a lot of ways to go about this, but make sure that you do link to other pages on your own site in the text body of the article with hyperlinks buried under that text, so that that text is clickable to lead them to another piece of subject matter that's on your page as well.
Good tip.
Side note, make sure your website program, I use WordPress, there's always a box you can click that says open link in a new tab. Make sure you do that, because otherwise there's the potential, especially if you're referencing somebody else, the clicking could send them away from your site, and you don't want that.
Right. You do not want to send people to other people's site and close your own window.
And close your own window. It's okay to reference other experts, but you don't want them to depart from your website.
Yep.
So if you want to make this real easy, hire a college student. All of our kids know more about tech than we do.
Yeah.
So hire a college student to shoot that video with their camera. You might want to get them a tripod again, but have them upload it to your YouTube account and create an article on your website for you. These are efficient and cost-effective ways to get this stuff done. Be sure as the business owner, though, that you always back check the work prior to publishing, right? Mm-hmm. This is your baby. You built this business, and you are solely responsible for the quality control and the valuable content you publish with your business name on it.
Yep. Okay, so now we're getting into some of the fun stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, we're going to talk about infographics. Now, if you don't know what an infographic is, take 30 seconds, go open a search tab, and go look on Google for infographics. People love these things, and for good reason. They're interesting. You know, lots of facts and ideas and thoughts that are associated with things are all in this one little pretty picture. Now, creating good infographics can take a bit of time and some research, so we've got a shortcut for you. First, go search for infographics about a topic that is important to your clients. See what's out there. Now, just because someone else has done it doesn't mean that you can't do it too. I just want you to get a feel for what's out there. You don't want to reinvent the wheel. You know, you don't want to have to. It's not about the topic. It's about getting it created. Okay, so just get an idea of what's out there. Then start compiling a list of topics that would be important for your clients or your company, and pick one and do some research to find out some interesting information. Now, statistics obviously are a big part of doing infographics, but there are a lot of other ideas that you can associate, you know, statements about a particular thing that will help support not only the idea but also make it even more interesting than just throwing stats out. All right.
Sure.
So here's the tip. Once you've done all that, go to Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com. Now, Fiverr is an open source website where you can go and get stuff done for $5. I bet you didn't know that. Now, there's a lot of people who don't, but this is like a hidden gem. Okay? This website is just incredible. I've used Fiverr several times, and I tell lots of people to use Fiverr. Honestly, sometimes it's more than $5, but it just depends on the project. But there's so much you can get done for $5. That's how it started, was $5. So,
Right.
Once you get to Fiverr, go and search for infographics, and what will display by default are a list of ads for people who will create an infographic for you, ranked by the highest rated people, and that means their actual customers rated them. Okay? Yep. Look at a couple of the ads and select someone. Then contact them and tell them about your project. You know, that you want to get an infographic created, and what the subject is, and what research that you've already done. And what happens after that? They'll accept the project. You pay Fiverr, whatever the money is, $5, $10, what have you. And once they deliver it to you, Fiverr will then pay them. It's super easy, and you will not believe how easy the process is.
Yeah, like you said, so many nuggets in this one. That alone.
Yeah,
I've used Fiverr as well for ghostwriting and all that stuff. It's fascinating. So cool. Open source is amazing. All right, next we have social media graphics. You've probably seen these before. Images or photos that have little inspiring quotes on them. They're probably in your Facebook feed, whatever. Okay. People love to share these things with other people, and you can use them for sharing on social media too. Include them in your blogs and posts, on your website, and add them to your newsletters. Okay, these are things that are easy to add value, add creativity, add imagery that is all capturing to your customer. Okay, these are all things you can tackle on your own if you're up for it. You could easily create them by going to Canva.com, Canva.com. Sign up for an account there, link your social media accounts to it, and you can start creating your own right away. There are free ways to create things at Canva. There's a lot of stock images that are available and things you can pay $1 for images that aren't free, but it's a great place to start. Now, again, we're all busy. If you don't want to do this for yourself because you're busy, you're tech challenged, or you see the value in hiring someone else, Fiverr can do this too. So just remember, open source is a beautiful thing. Anything you think you might need done, there's somebody that's willing to do it for you, probably at a cost that's a lot less than you tackling it on your own. So,
right. So, you know, you said earlier about using people at Fiverr to do ghostwriting. And I don't want to make this episode about Fiverr. I just want people to know what a great resource it is.
Yeah.
When you talk about creating content for your website, you know, once you grasp how important it is for local search, using a service like Fiverr to find people to do this for you, building a relationship with a writer at Fiverr. You find one that you really like working with, and you start giving them these assignments where you're paying, $5, $10, $20, whatever, to get a piece of content written. Yeah. All right? You've now got a trusted source that you can go back to all the time to help build up that content. We're talking about content, so here's a resource to help you, because you got other business things to do, help you get that content written that needs to be written and optimized for the keywords that you need to be optimized. And these people, when you start finding people who are experienced in doing optimized content, and there's a ton of them on Fiverr.
Yeah.
You've got a resource to work with that already knows what they're doing. You don't have to worry about being trained, or you don't have to worry about them training someone.
Yep.
You're going to learn from them because they're going to send you back content and explain what they did to you, and you're going to go, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll move on. We're going to real quick stop, and we're going to talk about some of the tools. Okay, so now we've talked about articles, we've talked about video, we've talked about social media graphics. All right, so now we're going to talk about tools that you can use. We talked a lot about the Fiverr. That's a business tool that you can use. That's going to help make it easier for you to get the content that you want. Now, the main tool that you need, and I don't want anybody to cringe, but the main tool that you need is an editorial calendar.
Okay.
This one simple thing can help you plan everything that you need to do. Everything from the articles that you need to write to the social media posts that you need to put out. Okay, yeah. It can help you organize all the content and the spreading of that content for your company. Now that sounds, really overwhelming, but it's not. Okay? You literally could sit down and in a weekend, and I say weekend because most people have free time on the weekend, but on a weekend, and you could plan out your entire next year of the content that you need to get created.
True.
So it is so easy that all you need is a spreadsheet and a calendar format. It's simple. You put your topics in. It's no muss, no fuss. Just what you can commit yourself yourself to. Now, a lot of people, they think that, they're going to have, these 50 things that they have to put on the calendar every month. No. Content is much like social media, which is much like anything else. And here's how I take the look at it. You have to find out what is practical for you. All right? If you're going to be doing this solely on your own and you don't have anybody to help you, then you only schedule what you yourself can commit to.
Right.
Once you get down that road and, maybe you get somebody on Fiverr or you get someone who's on your staff that can help you start doing this, then you can add to it. Yeah. You can create even more. Yeah. But this is just to help you stay organized and focused on the work that needs to be done. Now, I want to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to show you just how easy it is. And this leads up to the fourth thing that we're going to talk about today, and that is the surprise. And the surprise is I'm going to give everyone, and I'm going to put a link down in the show notes to it, but I'm going to give everybody a copy of an editorial calendar that they can download and use on their own.
That's awesome.
Okay. Now this little action guide is going to have a few other things in it, which we're not going to go into now, but it's going to be some bonuses that you're really going to want to get. It's going to make it even easier for you to create your content. Okay, so all you need to do to get it is just go to ageandplace.com/content guide. And you'll find the links there for the downloads of the editorial calendar and the little insider goodies that we've got for you as well.
Awesome.
You are going to be very pleased with the value that these items will provide for you. So be sure to check it out.
Absolutely. Good. Well, we should probably stop there today. We try to keep it in a reasonable chunk of time, and thank you for tuning in. Make sure you visit our website to get your content creation action guide right now at ageandplace.com/content guide. Don't miss us next week because we're going to talk about practical social media skills and practices for your small business. If you find our podcast to be valuable, please do us a favor. Drop us an email at smallbusiness@ageandplace.com. When you do, tell us how we're doing. Tell us what you'd like to hear more about, or even some roadblocks you're dealing with personally in your business, because we'd like to cover those subjects to make sure we're helping you out. And please go to iTunes, search for Booming Your Bottom Line, and leave us a star rating, hopefully a 5,
Yeah.
and a written review. This would encourage us to keep doing the work we're doing, giving you resources to improve your small business, and the ratings help other people to find us.
Now, just as a reminder, check out the small business section at ageandplace.com/smallbusiness and sign up for the newsletter. Now, we told you last week that we're going to regularly send out tips and info in the newsletters that we can't get to during the podcast. Now, we were true to that again this week, and I sent out a couple of super tips in the newsletter, and that really will help your business. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure you sign up for the newsletter.
It's true. Insider stuff, guys. So if you're on Twitter, you can also follow us there at Age in Place Pros and at Aaron D. Murphy. Have a fantastic week, everybody. Be well, be blessed, and boom your bottom line.
Thanks so much for listening to Booming Your Bottom Line with Mark Hager and Aaron Murphy. To learn more about starting, building, and growing a local business that profits in the older consumer niche, just visit the website at ageandplace.com/smallbusiness. And don't forget to sign up for the newsletter while you're there. If you'd like to get in contact with us, you can email us at smallbusiness@ageandplace.com. Fill out the contact form on the website or give us a ring at 865-236-1247. Booming Your Bottom Line is a joint venture of ageandplace.com and Empowering the Mature Mind.